All right, I'm going to do two examples with you of solving radical equations. Here's the first one. And by the way, these two equations I'm going to do are fairly basic. The next video, you'll see it gets quite a bit more complicated. So on the left-hand side, we've got the square root of this whole quantity, 2x plus 1. All of that's under the radical, and the right-hand side is 13. So in order to solve this, let me rewrite it again here. What we want to do is we want to square both sides. Alright, so when I square something that is square rooted, it's like undoing that. So I'm left on the left-hand side with 2x plus 1. And 13 squared is 169. And now it looks like a basic equation you know how to solve. So we're going to subtract 1. So we have 2x equals 168. We divide by 2, and then moving up here to the right, I get x equals 84. We always want to check these problems because you'll see in the next example we get some extraneous. So let's review how to check it. So pull up your calculator, and in y sub 1 you're going to graph the left-hand side of the equation. So in y sub 1 I've got the square root of 2x plus 1. And then I arrow down to y sub 2 and I put the right-hand side of the equation in 13. So I think the answer is 84. So I go to my table setup and I type in 84 and then I go to my table. So here's my table. When x is 84, which I think the answer is, y sub 1 matches y sub 2. Therefore this is a solution and it's a valid solution. So I've checked that and then that works. All right, let's do another example. This one gets slightly more complicated, but not too bad. So on the left-hand side, I have the radical 1 minus x. And on the right-hand side, I have x plus 5. Well, our technique is the same. We are going to square both sides. So the left-hand side looks like this. But remember, you are going to square the whole right-hand side when you do that. So this is not x squared plus 5 squared. That's not how we square the right-hand side. We square the whole right-hand side. So this is a binomial squared. So the left-hand side becomes 1 minus x. You can use the box method or you can FOIL that out. You already know how to do that. So that becomes x squared plus 10x plus 25. And now I'm going to combine like terms. So I'm going to add x to both sides. Simultaneously, I'm going to subtract 1. So we get 0 equals x squared. So 10 plus 1 is 11x. And 25 minus 1 is 24. And I could use my quad program if I want. Perfectly fine. Or I can factor it, whichever you prefer. So we get x plus 3, and we get x plus 8. And we set each factor equal to 0 to solve. So we get x equals negative 3, and set that one equal to 0. We get x equals negative 8. So I think I've got two solutions, and you want to check both of them. And I'll leave that up to you because I just showed you how to do that. And what you are going to find that the x equals negative 3 indeed works, and the x equals negative 8 is extraneous. So sometimes we have extraneous solutions in the radical equation problems, just like we did in section 4.7 with those problems that we worked there where we were squaring and clearing fractions. So don't forget to check these.